Mr. Minnick here, helping my students with a project in the Android class called Shared Preferences. Right here you see in Unit 8, it's an assignment, and I have this demo program right here that you can download and open up called SharedPreferencesDemo. Well, I've done that, and here is that demo program. SharedPreferencesDemo actually is called Hello Android 2, sorry about that. If you go into the source, you'll find that this is the one and only Java file, source code file. Okay, well let's execute this program to see if it works. Then I'll try to explain it to you and show you how you would upgrade it. I'm running the program in an emulator. Hopefully that'll get working soon. Now, in the meantime, let's look at the XML to see if there's anything special there. Particularly, let's look at the layout file. Here's the activity main. .xml activity file. It looks like it's just got two edit texts with a button right below it. Here's the XML code, nothing strange there. It's a typical linear layout with, again, I repeat, two edit text objects and one button, and it does have a text view. Okay, by now my emulator should be working. Okay, here's the emulator. The phone is waking up, and let's analyze the code in the meantime. Well, this app is pretty simple, the Java source code that is. Whoops, sorry about that. I simply have a onCreate method and an onClick method. The onCreate method, so here we are in the onCreate method. You see that we're using that activity main layout file. That's pretty normal for this point in our semester. I'm setting up my objects, my XML references, like bsave, which is over in the XML file, bsave, which is right here, the ID bsave. That is being connected to the Java object save, and it's being tied to the click listener because otherwise your onClick method won't do anything. And I'm linking the two edit text XML references to their corresponding Java objects. And of course the TextView XML to its corresponding TextView Java object. Okay, so that's just setting everything up between the interface and the code. Now here is where the new content in this demo is located. This is SharedData. SharedData was already declared as a shared preferences reference. It's being instantiated here, and that is, it's being tied to a file. So this variable SharedData is a pointer. It's like a file pointer to some behind-the-scenes file that's on the actual drive of the phone. The idea, of course, in this project is that when I close this app, it remembers what I stored there, and when we open it up the next time, it remembers what it had before. Hey, notice, here is the app, and it has Ian111. It got that text, not from any hard-coded string here, but it read that information from a behind-the-scenes file that's named AppData file. It doesn't have a file extension like .txt or .doc, like a Microsoft Word document or anything like that, but it is a file that if we had root access to this Android device, we could find that file. And I doubt it's encrypted or anything like that. It's probably plain text that I could go read if I had root access to this phone. Well, anyway, that string variable, file name, is being plugged in here so that SharedData is really a pointer variable to that file. And by putting a 0 in as the second parameter, I'm telling the phone that that file is private, that other apps should not have access to the words that are stored in that file. Now I could probably change it to other levels of permissions, and you can look these up in the API to see what these other numbers refer to. But 0 is perfectly good and as safe as I can make this. to keep other apps like Angry Birds, so that Angry Birds can't see the names and phone numbers that I'm choosing to store within this app. Now, if somebody has root access to this phone, they can pretty much do what they want. But a lot of home users don't have that root access, so so 0 is what it's going to be. Okay, the next line of code. Well, that's just a plain old string variable that I'm using to get the data that's stored in that file. And I'm assuming that there's some variable named name in that file. So here's what the file might look like. So this file, AppData file, I should sort of should name this. Pretend that there's a file on the phone called AppData file, and in it there are some key value pairs, name, and apparently there's another variable called phone num. And right now, if that file is empty and doesn't have a name, we are telling the program to put no data stored into the string variable name. The first time that you launch this or execute this app, the second parameter is used as the fill value for this variable name if there was nothing there from the last time it executed. Okay, so pretending that this is the first time this was executed, there was no data stored for those two keys. There are no values associated with those keys in the file. So in my two string variables, name and phone, I have no data stored. And I'm apparently just putting that text concatenated with a blank space in between into a text view on my phone. Well, I can't now, I've already executed this app on this emulator. So right now I cannot prove to you that no data stored shows up down in this text view because I already have it. I could probably go to my system settings and clear the data, and maybe I'll do that off camera. Okay, I just went into my emulator's system settings, and then within there, apps management. And I'm going to open up this app right now, Hello Android 2. I'm going to select that one so I can manage this app. And it looks like I'm able, well, first of all, I'm able to uninstall it, but I'm going to clear its data. There's also a clear cache, which you can't really see right now in my window. A button right below that. I could do that as well. Right here is clear cache. I'm going to do that just to be safe. They had 12 kilobytes in it. And I'm going to also clear data. And it's warning me, hey, all files, which is the file that I'm talking about, AppData file, is about to be deleted. All files associated with this app are about to be deleted. Just did it. And now I'm going to force stop this app so it's not running anymore. And I'm going to go back to the home screen and re-execute this app, Hello Android 2, on this phone, this emulator. And let's see if it still remembers Ian's phone number of, what was it, 222 or 111, something like that. Okay, here comes the app. Okay, the app's running. Oh, look, it says no data stored, no data stored. So I cleared that file away, never to be seen again until it's recreated. Well, it's actually created, it's just that there's no data there. Okay, so now what do we do about this button? When the button gets clicked, this onClick method executes, of course. And if the button that's clicked is the bSave button, which is the only button, this if statement, of course, is true. So this code executes. Well, what's this code doing? Oh, I see. It's taking whatever's currently in the edit text for name, and I'm storing it in a local name variable, and same for the phone number. So let's put something new in there. Let's say like Minnick, and let's say his phone number is 999. So these two edit texts are having the word Minnick is being stored in the variable name, and phone num 999 is being stored in the phone num. And then I create this special variable called editor that allows me to edit the file that's connected with shared data. So it's allowing me to edit the file saved on this device as AppData file. So let's pretend that I'm now in edit mode of this file. And a split second later, it's telling me to put the string that's stored in name right now, Minic. It's putting that string into the variable name of the file. So Minic's being put there. I don't care if you want to think of it as being something in double quotes or not. I know that the word name is in double quotes there, but that's really a variable name like this. It's not a string literal. And phone num here is, well, whatever I typed into this other edit text box. In this case, it was the number 999. The number 999 is being stored or assigned or put into phone num. So 999 is being put right there. Now it's being treated as text, not a number. Just saying, it's not the number 999 that you could subtract 1 from and get 998. It's more of a string. Well, putting that stuff into the editor is one thing, but then telling the editor to commit and make that change actually saves it to this file. So now this file, I'm going to go up to my menu and save it. It gets saved on the phone. Of course, the user can't see this file. This file is behind the scenes unless they go rooting around looking for it. Get it? Rooting around looking for it. Anyway, so that's it. Now when I click this button down here, Save, this data is there. But why is it not showing up in my text view? Well, duh, because I did not have this line of code down here. Maybe I should have. Maybe I should have also executed this app with this code here. Oh, but the word phone is squiggly underlined. Well, it must be out of scope. That phone is this string. I think I want phone num here. I'm a little inconsistent with my variable names. Now, if I were to re-execute this app and re-launch it on this phone, anything that I type into those two white edit texts will be echoed to the text view down below, but they'll also be recalled when the app runs the second time. Let's check here. Oh look, Minic99 was just loaded from the file and put into this text view. So I know the app works. It does load data that was permanently stored to the phone. Each time it's executed, it recalls that data. But let's put something new in there. Let's just say Santa, and let's just put in his phone number is 333. Save, and now actually I get confirmation that it was saved because of this extra line of code. For testing purposes, I probably don't want that there because I probably want to prove that the data came from someplace in the past. Now somebody asked me, how would I save more data to this with this great app? Right now this app only stores one friend in his or her phone number. Well, I guess you could just manually copy and paste and make more edit texts and more phone boxes, more edit texts. You could also probably use an array of a fixed size and add a predetermined number of names and phone numbers to that array. It's a little kludgy here. It's a little cheesy. This isn't really meant to store a lot of data. Maybe like the highest score of a game, or maybe like what level you're on in 2048, and or Flappy Birds or Angry Birds or whatever you play, and maybe this app just remembers where you were in the game. Hey, maybe you store what chess pieces are at the 81 positions of a chessboard, and you would have 81 different variables here, like name and phone num, and you could then recall those values and reset the board each time somebody opens up this app a second time. Okay, if you have any other questions, see the lecture notes or just look for tutorials on Google for shared preferences.